So this could be the ultimate advice that I've ever give for every business owner and salespeople. So if you want to discover this one advice, then stay tuned because it's coming up. So if you're a business owner or you're a salesperson and you advertise your stuff, whether you're offering your service or you're offering your product, you know that the cost of advertisement is getting higher and higher and higher. And to acquire a customer is getting more expensive. That's why like a lot of businesses right now become out of business. This is basically just a supply and demand. And the more supply there is and the more demand there is, the platform will always charge the advertiser as high as they can because it's just like simply bidding. The more you bid, the more you get a result. But sometimes that doesn't really equal to the more you spend, the more you get results, because there are a lot of factors in order for you to get results or in order for you to convert something. Just say for example, if you're advertising something, whether it is a photo or whether it is a video, there are things that you need to know, and you'll probably know this. There are specific type of content that you should show to a cold audience, which is, you know, people who doesn't know you yet, people who never heard about you. So those are the cold audiences. Now let's move to the second, which is the warm audiences. And you need to talk to these warm audiences in a different manner, because these warm audiences probably heard about you from someone else, or probably stumble one of your posts or stumble one of your products. And these are the people who kind of know you, or you know, these people are already in the market, but you are the brand new person that they just came across. And this is just warm audience. Now the third one is simply the hot audiences, which is probably your current customer right now, or you know, your customer from 10 years and until now they're your customer, or probably the people who just purchased your product yesterday or a week ago. And these are hot audiences, and you need to understand that you need to talk specifically on each of these type of audiences, which is, so if you're talking to your cold audiences, you cannot, you know, sell something because they don't know you, they haven't heard of you, and they might probably not in the business you're in right now. And that is just cold audiences. So what are the things that you need to talk about so that these cold audiences will be converted into warm audiences, right? And then how can you talk about those warm audiences? How do you communicate with them? How can you do the stuff that will make them to move one step closer and buy your product? And maybe, hopefully, they will turn that into a hot audience, which every time you recommend something, they will just gonna buy it no matter how much it costs, or they even don't know the whole product, but since you're the one recommending it, they're just gonna buy it. And you need to talk to these specific audiences. Now, if you are just gonna use this one, and if you know how to communicate on each of these audiences, this will be a goldmine. But since the cost of advertising is getting expensive, what can you really do in order for you to increase your brand and at the same time also increase your revenue? Now, this is what I call an invisible brand sitting, which is basically putting out content without even pitching anything, or putting out content without even having a call to action. This is just how you communicate things. This is how you just, you know, educate. This is just how you give value to the audience that you want to reach. This is just giving value or just educating the people that you want to impact with. Now, as what I've said, there are three types of audiences. So basically, here's how it works. Now, you need to put out a value content, which is like to educate these people without any call to action. So the more content you produce for your cold audiences, the more they will convert into a warm audiences, because you're just simply giving value. You're not giving value because you're expecting something in return. So that's what you need to do in the cold audiences. Now, in the warm audiences, this is what you need to do. Just try to keep educating your warm audiences. Try to always give value, but at this time, what you need to do is maybe just give them a little call to action, but it's not going to your product, or maybe it's not going to your sales page, or maybe subscribe or follow you on whatever platforms you are using. And those are just a small step. That's what we call a small commitment. The more things that they follow, the more possible, and the more they will convert to a hot audience. Now, in this hot audience, this is where you give the pitch. This is where you give the call to action to check out your sales page. This is the call to action so that they can check out your funnel. So basically, this are the things that you need to advertise. And since you're just advertising or boosting a post, which is like no links, no call to action, the more engagement you will get. And now this will cost you less because there's no call to action. And at the same time, this is what you will be doing on your warm audiences. Because remember, you just need to give value. You just need to educate the audiences that you have. Now, since you are boosting these posts for your cold audiences and as well as for your warm audiences, these people will not see any of your pitches or any of your call to action if they didn't consume the content that you boost in the first place. Whoever watched those videos, you can just retarget those people who watched at least 80% of your videos and then show the video that has a call to action so that they will go and they will take action and go to your sales page, or they will take action and go to your sales funnel. Now you can make sure that the people will see that call to action are qualified people who already consume your content. Now this is how you can really lessen the cost, increase more brand awareness, and at the same time increase revenue, because the more value you give, the more you educate your audiences, the more they will trust you, and the more you will become the only logical choice in order for them to buy what you have to offer. And you can pretty much dominate in whatever market you're in. So think about it, those strategy. Okay, so there are a lot of layers that you could do, but this time it will cost you less and it will make the value of your brand higher, and then as well as your revenue. So those are just a brief or an overview of how invisible brand seeding works. So I hope you learned something, and if you do, always remember, when you make videos, always smile. Ciao for now.